So I think we should start, and there's a lot of people. So firstly, I would love to ask, like, have you had your dinner or at your hello?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay, good.
What about you?
Yeah, I have done. So our title is how. Oh my God, what is the title? Video chat. The question was okay. So the question was how our society became patriarchal. That means male dominated. Okay, well, so firstly, I would love to greeting you all. Yeah, welcome back to my session. And today I'm your host. And one thing I really want to mention, like, I'm so genuinely glad that as I say every day, like, whenever I join this VC, that you pause your busy day just because to dive into this topic. And before diving into this topic, I really want to remind you, stay connected here and till end and be happy. Okay. So whoever is new for this word, that is a patriarchy. So I would love to explain. That is like before you imagine a complicated academic lecture, let me simplify it. Basically, patriarchy is simply a system where men have historical held more power, more authority, and more control over important decisions than women. So now I have to ask one question to all. Was society always like this or not? Anyone is willing to answer, they can raise your voice and you can speak up. Junaid, Srimant, Brothers, Crimson. I'm asking question. Was society always like this?
I have a bit background noise, so maybe my voice might not be very clear. But the question is very fair, and I think the society was very patriarchal since its origin. It was. The
No,
question is
it,
yes, it was.
mhm, yep. Was society always like this?
Yeah, since its origin, it was. It was. Since the origin of life, the society was very patriarchal in origin.
From the ancient period?
Yeah, from the very beginning, if we go to the origin of life, like the nomadic life, after the era of nomadic life changed, the society emerged as a patriarchy in its origin. So there is nothing new. It started recently, or it started post nomadic life. No, nothing at all. It started since the very beginning of life. Life was in itself a patriarchy in nature. It was already.
I think no, it's not already. It's not a predated. Like,
Yeah,
have you had yeah, okay. Which?
I think patriarchal society is not from ancient time, but it started after the division of labor started. And you
Mm-hmm.
can see, you if you go back to history, you will find evidence of when the labor system is emerged. Then patriarchal society is dominated in the nature. Uh, Starting from human species, when the human ancestor and their our human sapiens comes on earth, so that time was not patriarchal society. That time of all are equals, even their society was equal, they are sharing uh, any materials equally, so there are not division. But after some times, when the food gathering start, hunting started, fire what
Farming,
you say,
farming,
huh
farming,
family system
farming,
started.
agriculture,
Agriculture
and also
started.
agriculture. Mm-hmm.
Right, right. So after that, society become gradually patriarchal society because of hunting, gathering, or something very laborious work is dominated by the men. So so it's a division of labor occurs, and women are kept in house, and men are going to their works, hunting, gathering, or others laborious works doing. So after that. Gradually they men trying to catch up powers, so they become powerful political organization set up. So obviously these type of things happening in after that society become patriarchal.
Yeah, that was right. Like you mentioned all the point. As I said, like as like how may I address your name? Priyaders.
Yeah, Priyaders.
Okay, so Priyaders. Yeah, he was mentioning really good point. Like human beings lived in a small groups earlier, and like they are surrounding by forest, rivers, and animals. So that time, like life was simple but difficult too. Everyone had to contribute, and men often haunted animals. So women gather some fruits, roots, and so many things. But that time, both roles were equally important. And as you say, like after farming, after they created some shelter to live together, so from there, it started this dominating system. Means they think about it like we need some inherited property to survive us. So then it's created. So I will mention it all the things for the all people, but I'm going to ask one question again. Like it is the custom when it becomes law. Hello.
Yeah, please kindly repeat it again. What you wanted to say?
Actually, like over generation, social system like evolved that gave men creator control over property, family decisions, and public life. So what started as economic organization slowly became social power, and social power gradually became political power. So then I'm asking one question, like when customs became laws, did you get it, or would I have to repeat again?
They
Yeah, yeah.
want to say that custom becomes law, so patriarchal society gradually validated like this.
Means like after their shelter, after so many work they did in outer side, and girls because girls are like a nurse, like a caregiver,
Actually,
so they
ma'am,
really want to. Huh?
may I answer it?
What?
I'm saying have point of view on it.
Yeah, why not?
Actually, it developed slowly over hundreds of years as societies tried to survive and organize themselves. In ancient times, life was difficult. People had to protect their families, fight wars, hunt and work hard to secure food and land. Since men generally had greater physical strength, so they often took these roles over time as they gained more control over property, decisions, and leadership. What started as a patriarchal arrangement slowly became a social role. But just because something has existed for a long time does not that make it right forever. So people like what is familiar, we learn from our families and societies what is considered normal. Children grow up watching certain rules and often accept them without questioning them. So a boy is told to be stronger and not to cry, while a girl is told to be gentle and careful. So in some families, important decisions are expected to be made by men. A son may be given more freedom than a daughter, even when both are equally responsible. Many people do not do this intentionally, they simply follow the patterns they inherited. So today things are changing. Women are leading countries, running companies, becoming scientists, doctors, and leaders. Yet some old ideas still remain. This creates an important question: are we living according to what is fear, or according to what we have become used to? So yeah, it is not only about man and woman, it is also about how traditions become powerful. So what generation creates, the next generation often accepts as a normal. Yeah, that is my point of view.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, when it comes, like they're thinking about it, like, who will inherit everything after I am gone? And that question seems simple, but it changed human history. Means if I'm talking about earlier time, and yeah,
Yes,
that you have
absolutely.
mentioned technology, traditional. Now they will think like we have opportunity, means girls, women, so they are come in action. But the thing is, when it happens, so when they're thinking like who will inherit everything after I'm gone, and as I say, like it's look like a simple question, but it changed human history. Like many societies became increasingly concerned with family, link, and inheritance. Like over generation, social system evolved that gave men greater control, over property, family, and decision and public life. Even now they did also like girls, like no one want to listen to girl decision, and but yeah, but it slowly it will change. And
Absolutely.
like yeah, and like social power gradually became political power, and at the first these ideas exist as a tradition, but the tradition eventually became like a laws, as we know, kings, rulers, and many religious authorities began writing rules, like girls should be like this, boys should be like this, and many legal system limited like women's access to property, education, leadership position, and public decision making. And
Absolutely.
over time, these rules, yeah, and over time, these rules became like so common that people stopped questioning them, and that was the main issue. They just stopped questioning them. And imagine, like, if I'm saying about any example, like, imagine a road, like, built thousands of years ago, generation after generation uses the same road, and eventually people forget who built it, and they simply assume it has always existed. That's exactly what happened like with many social structures. People began treating them as natural. Even that person was saying Junaid. Junaid was saying like yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's it's happened in earlier. No,
No, it has been
yeah,
created.
like people began treating them as natural. So
Absolutely.
today were created
We
by
have
human
Adil
beings. So
now.
that's why I'm
Mr.
asking
Adil
like
has joined the conversation. I welcome him for being here. Hello, Mr.
Sorry
Adil.
for
How are you?
Adil is here also. Sorry for the interruption.
Yes.
My first question was ki, like you said, ki, does it evolve since its origin? But I believe in this. If we go back to the era of
Yes, you can
nomadic
have
life,
your point of view. We are
so
not neglecting that. You can have your point of view
yeah.
regarding it.
Hmm.
Everybody can, have their perspective regarding this topic. So yeah,
it has more some biological existence if we believe in patriarchy. Otherwise, it is not.
kind of
The,
biological existence you are talking about.
Yeah,
May you elaborate it, sir?
yeah. You know what?
He is trying to say natural,
Whoever.
natural. Nature has made a
Hmm.
woman different. Is it?
true, exactly. They both have given both different protections. Like man has to do some things which woman cannot do. As per if we go to the biological determinism,
Okay.
if we go to the era of hunting era, like men use it to kill animals, women cannot. So there are these are the biological differentiators which made the society accordingly. Man has to do these things, and woman has to do those things. So
Woman is,
I believe
according to you, woman is so
association
much
should not be should be
sensitive.
patriarchy nature.
So, sir, according to you, woman is so much sensitive that she can't do certain things
Yeah,
that man can do.
woman has it is different roles. Like man can do many things which a woman cannot do. As per
Okay.
biology, as per it's not
I
about
even
as
agree
society. It's
that
about
men and women are different.
uh,
Same goes for women also. Women can do some things
Let me,
which
let me, let
males
me,
can't do.
let me,
true. I agree with you. I agree with you.
let me
So as
complete first,
society,
sir. Sir, let me complete first. I agree that men and women are different. Men are generally stronger and physically, and women, go through pregnancy periods. Nobody is denying these biological realities. But my question is, why should a biological difference automatically become a social hierarchy? So through history, uh, physical strength was important for hunting, warfare, and survival. Because of this, men often held a position of power. This may explain how Piocchi emerged as Socrates taught. Do you know him? Socrates. We should not just accept an idea because it has existed for a long time. We should ask why we believe it. If strength alone gives someone the right to lead, then the strongest person should always be the ruler. Do you agree with me? If the strongest alone gives someone the right to lead, then the strongest person should always be the ruler. Yet we do not choose the leaders based on who can lift the most weight. You know, we look for wisdom, judgment, knowledge, character. A teacher may be physically weaker than a soldier, yet the teacher may possess greater knowledge. A scientist may be weaker than an athlete, yet society still values the scientist's expertise. So clearly, strength and authority are not always the same thing. Hope you got it.
Yeah, now I got it. Means I think everyone has got it. Like, yeah,
So
whatever
nature,
Crimson
yes,
was
yes.
saying, it
So
was,
finally, let me first complete. So nature creates differences, but
Mhm.
society decides what those differences mean. Differences fact of nature. Hierarchy is a human choice. History may explain patriarchy, but explanation is not justification. A philosopher does not ask how did this system begin. He also asks, does the reason for it still exists today? Okay, this is my point of
Yeah,
view regarding it. So,
I
ma'am,
have a
you can
question here,
continue.
like you mentioned, कि, men are meant to be for hunting, for just for मतलब, they have control over physical strength over women. I accept this. Okay, so, but the question is again here, like you mentioned Socrates. I can mention the one political philosopher, and he has already published a book of Man Lineliness, where he mentioned that there are few traits which a man have over women, like he mentioned about assertiveness. He mentioned about aggressiveness. Like man is more aggressive in nature than woman, and willingness to take risks. If we matlab, discuss about politics, if we discuss about some other things, those demand the aggressiveness and this willingness to take risks. A woman cannot take. And
Yes, yes,
it
yes.
was probably Harvey Mansfield who on his
Again, you are
book
talking about natural perspective. Nature
write
has
this
made
thing, the
both
man
differently.
lineliness, a book where he mentioned this: man is meant to take risks, a woman cannot. So there are different rules. It is not about patriarchy or matriarchy, it is about different rules in a society. So
That is
accordingly the
what I
society
was
evolved in
actually
such a way
rather
that we call it, the society is patriarchal in nature. Otherwise there are different social norms, different social rules, and accordingly both are playing a good role.
absolutely. I was saying same thing to you. As John Stuart Mill argued, we can't know the full potential of people if society decides their rules before they have chance to prove themselves. Therefore, the real philosophical question is not whether a man and woman are different. The real question is why should difference become dominance? Can you answer that? Why should difference become dominance? Nature creates difference, but society decides what those differences mean. May you answer it, sir?
yeah, nature is different things. Like, we should value all kinds of work. Like
We
after
agree
some
that
time,
nature has made both genes
yeah.
differently. We are not arguing on that point. So, Sushma, sorry to interrupt. Okay, continue.
It's not interrupt. I'm just asking, like, whatever you are saying, yeah, nature has created some difference among boys and girls. But despite this, we, like a girls or women, they just want to equal rights, whatever they're doing in their home. Like, you can't say, like, home chores is just devaluable. No, this is also valuable. That's why its system looks like, dominated. Otherwise, it was not like that. Earlier time, they also think like, yeah, she saw, she nourished, she is a caregiving for my family. So they have both respect, both that is called equality. But now these days, like men are thinking about it like, no, she's in a home. So not now these days. Now I think after traditional and technology, now it's become gradually like women has so more opportunity. There is so many machine, and through machine women can do better job, and they have a lot opportunity to do work. But there's some time, and even it exists like men thinking like if you're doing your work in a home, then you have a devaluable work. So that's the issue like happens. And one thing, okay, I want to ask one question. Like, if women have rights today, okay, as we know, according to our constitutions, according to our norms and system, so why are we still discussing patriarchy? Why are we still discussing patriarchy? That's a fair question. If you want to ask and answer it, then you can.
It is Adil.
Can I
Adil,
answer? Can I answer
Mm-hmm.
the question?
Yep, Khalid, go ahead.
So, see, from where I'm seeing this is it's totally different. I mean, see, what is society and what this whole society all about? It's about power, and once you have power, I mean, any kind of power, whether you are good mm, at doing things, whether it's physical or maybe it may be mental. So this society has always been ruled by those who are competent enough. So as we see deep into the history, there was a guy who was mentioning that, yeah, this we have seen these um, emerging aspects or emerging ideas of patriarchal society. So he was right because that that dominating power, that dominating instinct was always there in the human being, but there was not such a situation where they can show up that. But once you start harvesting land and you start saying that this is my land, and who the person is going to save that? Obviously that who has that physical strength and mental ability. Now we see, um, as a human being we can contribute uh, almost same as per our mental strength, but when it comes about physical strength, uh, there should be a one who who is good at that. So same goes with today's world. You can't isolate it completely because it's not now today it's not about man and woman. It's about who is competent, who is stronger, and who is fittest to survive. So once you see, there are some examples, there are some instances where a man is exploited or a man is treated very differently and very how what should I say? Well, mm, he is also susceptible of being misbehaved because he is not stronger, he is not capable, he doesn't have any wealth, he can't protect himself. So he already and probably gets exposed to the harm from the stronger one. So when you see this whole society, so see what is society? Society is just is made of families. So if you see in a particular family, who is contributing much, who is contributing at least everything to the society is going to have the power in hand, in his or her hand. So there are some in most of the Indian families you see uh, it has also patriarchal nuances because the one who is running the family is the man. But if you see different, I mean, you can also include some exceptions. So if you see a woman who is earning and a man who is mm, in the family. He is who's working in the family. He's not earning much. So there are few instances. There are few examples like this. So again, the dominance in the family is going to have the one who is capable, who is stronger. So, but see, after the invention, after uh, the development of AI um, and machines and robots, our physical labor has almost gone obsolete. So at the same time, a woman can work at different in different fields without without having a lot of things to do physically. So she only needs to apply her prudence, her cerebrum to get things done. So that's the point. Why most in the most of Indian societies we are still having that mm, patriarchal dominance. So again, if once you get that condition where you can have that power, that independence, so uh, if you if you are to neglect this phenomena, if you want to escape from it or not, if I present in a proper way, not to escape but to confront it or maybe to avoid it, you have to avoid it because without being independent, it's almost impossible. So that's the point. I mean, why we still have that characteristics in most of the Indian families. That was my point. And thanks for listening me very patiently.
No, no. I think it's our pleasure to listen you. You have explained every single point. It was amazing, wonderful. But I just want to ask one question. As maybe you like think about it, the whole history, and you explain very well. But I'm asking the question, like, if women have rights today, why are we still discussing patriarchy? I would love to answer it. Like, I would just elaborate it. Like, the answer lies in a difference. Like, so I'm just talking about the rights. Like,
Mhm.
It still exists.
Sorry, come again. Your voice was breaking.
He's saying why we are discussing still it if it does not exist today.
Mm.
Before that, I am asking Dr. Adil Hussain, please, may you unmute your mic? Sir, can we have your point of view? May you please speak? Junaid, Junaid, Junaid bhai, Junaid bro, ask him to unmute.
hello, now it's clear.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
clear
yeah.
now.
Dr. Adil.
Adil wants to join. Adil wants to say something. Kindly give him mic
Okay, okay,
first.
ask him to unmute. Dr. Adil Hussain, he is a research scholar. I have invited him to here to
Okay,
join me
okay. Adil,
to have
hello. Welcome to the session. Hello, Adil Hussain. Are you there?
Dr. Adil.
He may be
May
doing
you unmute
something.
your mic, please?
He might be using something. Hello.
Junaid,
Okay, let me elaborate what was my question was Leaf engineer and Crimson and others. Actually, whatever Leaf was saying, that was truly right, and even he was explaining like every single point. That was amazing.
Am,
But the thing is,
am I audible now?
yeah,
Sorry to
yes,
interrupt. Yeah, I was
yeah,
checking
yeah,
my
you are
microphone. It needed some permission. That's why I was not able to speak. Okay.
yes, sir, yes, sir. How are
okay.
you,
No
sir?
worries.
Thanks,
How are
Mr.
you?
Ishfaq, for giving me this opportunity to speak something. So, if
Yeah,
I've
please answer.
gotten the title right, is it about like how society has created patriarchy? Is that the title?
Means like how society became patriarchy. Means
Fair enough.
dominated by
Okay.
male society. Yeah.
Thanks for the clarification. Okay, fine.
It still
So
exists.
before, before asking how society became patriarchal, we must first ask whether patriarchy is a coherent explanatory concept or merely a political slogan. So, because for feminists, whom to call as patriarchal, what is patriarchy? So, how do they define it? They say that it's some social system in which men, particularly as a class, collectively dominate, oppress, and exploit women as a class. That's how they define patriarchy. So, it's all about dominance, it's all about oppression, it's all about exploitation. And who are they exploiting? Women as a class. Now, when they come up with a definition like this, and we'll be getting to know how, because so much discussion has already been done about how it became. Ishfaq gave some wonderful concepts. Junaid came in, and you also, how society became patriarchal. We will get to that also. But then I have a problem with this definition. And firstly, I have a different premise when it comes to patriarchy versus matriarchy. I don't believe in these terms. Yes, society in ground, in practicality, it's happening, but let me deconstruct this. If patriarchy means men have power, then which men? It's like, because for most of history, the majority of men were peasants, and the majority of men had no political rights. Majority of men had no wealth. Majority of men died in wars ordered by the tiny elites. So if a poor farmer has no authority over a king, over a nobleman, over a wealthy merchant, in what meaningful sense is he part of the ruling class? Number one, the concept often treats all men as beneficiaries of power, despite vast differences among men themselves. That's one challenge. Another challenge that I see is, historically, men were also the overwhelming majority of the combat deaths. Men were the overwhelming majority of dangerous laborers. You talk about mining, talk about construction sites, talk about sewage and clearing gutter and everything. And they were the overwhelming majority of workplace fatalities. They were expected to provide, they were expected to protect. A society cannot be understood by looking only at who held authority while ignoring who bore risk and sacrifice. Because the second part we most often omit. We say they look authoritative, they look dominating, they look oppressive, and the terminology that they have encapsulated in their so-called definition of patriarchy. And then why do they ignore who is bearing the risk and the sacrifice? What about in combating in warlike situation? What about going to mining and construction sites? What about clearing sewage and stuff? Why do we ignore that part? And then when we talk about this correlation, I believe it's not the causation. That's something we need to understand, because many societies had more male rulers. I get it. But from that fact alone, it doesn't follow that society was organized primarily to benefit men, because how men are being seen, uh, when these tags like it's a patriarchal society, I said on ground many things are happening. I'm not out writing of domestic violence. I'm not saying that women are being exploited, but there are cases also where men are exploited. We'll come to that. I'll come to that part also. And then when I say correlation is not causation, what do I mean by that? Like, from the fact alone, it doesn't follow that society was organized primarily to benefit men. Let me draw this analogy to make it more clear. For example, people who go to mining sites, for example, those miners, if most miners are men, does it prove that mining was designed to privilege men? Not at all. We cannot equate that. We cannot correlate that. Yes, most majority of them are miners, but it doesn't primarily suffice that mining was particularly and primarily designed to privilege men. Likewise, if most rulers were men, it does not automatically prove society existed to benefit men as a class. Now, the fourth challenge that I feel, which is something to be understood, is the biological reality. Whenever we talk about, there are two concepts. Whenever we discuss these things: biological realism and biological determinism. You must have. I don't know how many of you have gone through the book that the feminists often come across, that was written by Simone de Beauvoir. So she has written that she completely undermines the concept of biological reality. The second sex that she has written, she says that femininity, it's a social construction, that everything is constructed by society, everything is conditioned by society, everything is shaped by society, and completely undermining it, ignoring the biological aspect of this. Then comes a cognitive scientist. In fact, I have uploaded a post related to this today. His name was Steven Pinker, and he has written a book called as Blank Slate. Blank Slate is like, he challenges that proposition, that it's like a notebook that's unwritten. But then he talks about a concept there in Blank Slate, that there are twins, identical twins, and they have been kept in different environments, totally different environments. As per Simone de Beauvoir, who is the you know mother of these feminists, intellectually, as per her, these two boys, identical twins, they must have different personalities, they must have different traits, they must have different political tendencies and stuff. But it was found out that certain traits, they are same, although they have been brought up in different environments. What does it signify? It states that there are certain innate qualities. That means the biology, the behavioral genetics has a role. For sure, genetics has a role, which Simone de Beauvoir has completely written off or ruled off. So, whenever we talk about patriarchy, matriarchy, these things are absolutely, there are cases like we have gone into these details so much that before I clear it out, do we have any feminists in this space, so that I sort of debate that way or put my points that way? Do we have any feminists in the group?
Sometime I feel I am.
Fine. That's fine. It's a fine proposition, but let me challenge certain things. Say why? Because, yeah, feminist, for a feminist, it's like, then you must have definitely gone through this Simone de Beauvoir book, which is The Second Sex, and Judith Butler also. So that means everything is biologically sorry, I'm getting a good. Fine. That means everything is structured by the society. Um, in her book, she writes that one is not born, but rather becomes a woman. That means, in that book, she writes that this male or this man, it is a default position to be. The special category, the other, because the otherness is the heart of her book. Other is a woman. She has been made submissive by the society, right? She has been exploited by the society. Talks about womanhood, that it has been created and conditioned by society. But that proposition has many flaws. It has many challenges, because you cannot ignore biology. For example, when you say we need equal rights, against demanding equal rights, you can advocate for having equal rights, but that's unnatural order. I say that's an unnatural order. Why? There are so many things like, I advocate for equity. Equity means fairness, means the responsibilities of men and the responsibilities of women, they are socially differentiated. In certain areas, you have a status that men can never level up or even reach close to. But in certain other fields, men have that status where women cannot. For example, There are jobs which need immense, intensity, physically. They are physically intense jobs. For example, mining. For example, going to construction sites. For example, going to clear the sewage, this sewage and stuff. Can women do it? Yes, she can. But does her biology allow her to do it? No. She can be pushing herself out of compulsion, then she does that job, but she's not meant. Her biology is not designed in a way to do those physically intense work. But the biology of man is designed and built in such a way that a man can endure a lot more than women can do. Does it undermine or, for
So, sir,
example, the
if man,
status of women? Uh-huh.
sir, if you are saying that men do the hardest jobs, such as, you know, miners, construction workers, soldiers,
Their
etc.
biology is
So,
designed to.
so let me.
They do not do. Their biology
Man,
is designed to do. Mm.
so man deserve more power in society. You can see. I
Absolutely
guess
not. Absolute. That is the false correlation. That's
I
a
fully,
logical fallacy. That.
even I fully
Mhm.
respect the sacrifices made by miners, soldiers, construction workers, and many
Mhm.
others. These jobs are difficult and often dangerous. Society depends on them. But the question is, does doing a difficult job automatically give some greater authority over others? A
Absolutely
miner
not.
works hard.
That's a false.
A
That's a
miner
logical
works.
fallacy. That.
A miner works hard underground. A doctor
No.
works
See.
long
See.
hours.
Wait.
He's saying no.
I got you. I
So
got your
a
point.
mother, let me post finish. A mother may spend years raising her
So,
children, which
why
contribution is
are you
more valuable
stretching it?
according to you.
Why, why are you stretching
A
it when
mother
he is
may
saying no?
spend a mother may spend years raising a children, which contribution is more valuable. So
Who
philosophy,
denies that?
teaches us
Who
that different
denies
forms
that?
of work, uh,
That is
different
when
forms of work
that's
create
Ishfaq's.
values in different ways.
Mhm.
Let me finish, sir. Then
Exactly.
you can. Not all
Sure.
value can be measured by physical hardship alone. If suffering or hard work automatically give a person the right to rule, then person with the most difficult job should always govern society. Yet we do not choose the leaders that way. We look for wisdom, judgment, responsibility, and the character. The existence of difficult male-dominated jobs may explain why man historically gained some social influence, but it does not prove that all men should have authority over all women. Moreover, many dangerous jobs were historically closer to women by law, custom, or social expectations. We can't use exclusion as proof of inability. The deeper philosophical question is, should human dignity depend on the type of work a person performs? Most philosophers would answer no. Human dignity belongs to people because they are human beings, not because of their profession, strength, or social role. So I respect the sacrifices of men, as you said, who perform difficult labor. But respect for contribution is not the same thing as justification for dominance. A society should honor contribution wherever it appears, not turn contribution into hierarchy of human worth. In short, a powerful
Ishfaq,
mind
why are
cannot
this?
debate. I'm saying the
Oh,
miner deserves respect for his sacrifice, but
I'm not
respect is
getting
not.
even. I'm not even getting your question. Can you please give the crux of it so that I can respond?
I, Let me.
It seems
I'm
that
saying the
he's
miner deserves respect for his sacrifice, as you are talking of miner sites, etc. So miner deserves respect, for his sacrifices. But respect is not ownership. Contributing to society does not give
Who
one
says
no,
it?
no,
Who
he's
says
not
it?
saying
one
That's
group
what
the
my
right to
point was.
dominate other.
he
Let me
thinks
complete then,
There is
sir.
a book.
Okay. You
Mhm.
can have your point of view.
There's a book called, which I mentioned, Blank Slate. If you go from cover to cover, that has been written by the cognitive scientist Steven Pinker. He says that equality is not same as sameness psychologically. For example, men and women can be equal in dignity, in moral truth, but psychologically they're not same. Cognitive psychology can be different, biology can be different, and which is different because it is backed by science. You cannot undermine biology. So
So
it doesn't mean, for example, when we say man is the kavam, he has to earn. It doesn't mean woman cannot earn. She can be earning more than the man, but she doesn't have the responsibility. She's like, she can be spending all the wealth upon herself, and even her partner doesn't have this audacity and liberty to ask, why did you spend this way? But when a man earns, he has this responsibility to spend it on the family. He cannot be spending it on himself only. So does it mean that men who has been instructed to earn, while woman has not been, she can earn but she has not been instructed, and she can be earning more than the man? That means,
That is
does
totally
this give men a privilege, a power position? Because feminists often say this, because somebody who gives and donates is more powerful than somebody who receives. No, it's not like that. It's a burden on man. It's not a privilege, it's a burden. I say it's a structured
I
accountability.
agree with you, sir.
So
I agree.
that's what my, and then they call this patriarchy. It's not. It is not. It is just their responsibilities are socially differentiated, and man is supposed to earn. He is supposed to spend it on the family. Woman can also earn much more than the man, but she's not supposed to spend it on the family. She can be spending lavishly on herself, and nobody has the
I can
authority or liberty to
I can
ask her.
understand this. Sush ma'am
Hmm?
want to say something before that. Sush ma'am want to
Sure,
say something. May you
sure,
unmute
sure,
yourself,
sure, please.
ma'am?
Oh, well, I just wanted to say, Adil Hussain, see, as we know, like biological, we are little like weaker than man. But the question is not like that. The question is we should value the all work. We should not devalue the home, like home chores. And it could be anything. Even you are saying like men are doing like an infrastructure means any heavy work because they are capable enough. So I know they are capable enough. But the thing is like when women pregnant, so they are capable enough to like born any child. So it is about like who is capable and who has power. So it's not about like authority. It's about to like value the all work. Means you have power, means you are capable enough to do it. Okay. And the next question, I think I should stop this discussion. I just want to one question to Adil and others. Does patriarchy affect men too or not? Because it's
What
not
was
about and the one thing I really want to say, like patriarchy, matriarchy, anarchy, monarchy, there's so many words. But it's not about like patriarchy, only all like men are dominated, all they are all the role
Sush,
creator. It's
Sush.
it's
Uh-huh. Sushman,
okay.
that's why in the inception of my talk, I said everybody is equal in dignity, in moral truth, be it irrespective of the gender. Fine, gender is socially constructed. Let's not get into that detail, but everybody is equal,
But
be it man, be it
yeah,
woman. But in
mhm.
moral truth, are they equal psychologically? Is their cognition equal? No, I don't agree.
No,
They differ.
see,
Equality does not
we
mean sameness. Equality does not mean sameness. Biologically, they are different. Cognitive psychology is different. Evolutionary findings we see, they're quite different. So
we
they
can
yeah,
are not same.
obviously
explain
because we are individual.
we can explain it in a very simple term. Now, equality amongst equal. There is a very wonderful and very simple line in the Constitution that
Yep.
equality among equal. So, like for example, if there are four men, they all deserve 10 rupee each. And in the same way, if you ask, like for example, if there is a little boy, there is a man, there is a elderly person, they all they all require food, but they are going to get as per their requirement, not in equal sense in the that like you have the capacity to consume maybe 100 gram of food, but there is another infant who can have the capacity to um, take maybe 10 to 15 gram. So that's equality, but that equality should be among equals. So you know, as he was saying that we all differ in some way. So you may have
Leaf,
some.
exactly, brother. Leaf. It's like, for example, there's a team, cricket team or maybe soccer team or whatever team it is, of males and
Mhm,
females.
mhm,
So in cricket team, 11 players of men, and the opposite team, 11 players of women, and they are told to play a match. then you can see the difference clearly. It's quite visible because have you ever seen like I'm talking about the biological realism. Have you seen like
mm,
any woman so far or any female cricketer who has been able to bowl at delivery with speed more than 145 kilometers per
mm,
hour?
mm.
You cannot
Yeah,
see.
obviously. Yeah,
You
these are
cannot. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Because biologically, in fact, somebody asked me this question in the previous debate. It was happening in university, and he told me that there's this athlete,
Mm,
Mary Kom, and if you are asked to fight against her, what will happen? I told him that she will, crush me in maybe 10 seconds or so. But then he
mm,
said that that means biology doesn't have a rule. But I told him that the amount of hard work that Maricom has put in say a couple of years or maybe 5 years, 10 years, and her
mm,
diet, her dedication, and
mm,
her workout. If I
mm,
would have done the same thing, then I would knock her down in maybe 5 seconds.
mm.
So that means
Even
biologically, men or women are so different. They cannot
mm,
be same.
yeah. See, even
Therefore,
I have made.
responsibilities are different. Completing this, brother. Therefore,
Sorry for
responsibilities are
interrupting.
different.
Hello. Actually, the question is not about
Myself,
like both are
myself,
same. The question is about like, hello, am I audible?
voice breaking.
Hello. Yeah, Adil, we are not talking about like a physically, mentally, and whatever you are saying, like holistic. So the question is not about it. We are just like question. Sorry, we are just asking question, some the different, and you are just asking
No,
about
no,
the biological thing.
voice is clear.
Hello, voice problem.
Your voice is clear, so you can continue.
Actually, I want to say like the question was not who is like equal to man and who is equal to woman. I know like we all are different when we are following the individual and we need individual things because we can't say that person is equal to me. That means you just lost the ability, the like the way you are. The question was like if women have rights today, so why are we still discussing patriarchy? But everyone has gone the different things. So I just want to say as we know like today a woman can become a scientist, pilot, CEO, engineer, judge or entrepreneur, whatever. But legally those doors are open, as I say, in our constitution, in our norms system. But reality can still be different. Like imagine any software engineer or whoever is working in any field, so when she returns home, she may still be expected to cook, clean, manage household, everything. So meanwhile, her male colleague may face different expectations. So that the question is like this is the like discussion about it like equality continue. We are not talking what what happened. I'm not audible.
Now you're audible.
Someone is okay. So yep, our question was already I was saying like we still facing this issue. Even we are having a lot of kinds of like norm system, everything. Like we have open doors, but still we are facing. That's was the question. But people are saying like women are not equal to men. Yeah, I know. Even men are not equal to men also. Because why? Because we all are individual. Where is your identity if I'm going to become equal to you? Okay, let's let it be this question. I just want to ask another question. Like, okay, as Adil say, patriarchal. So, does patriarchal affect men too or not? Think about it like deeply, then answer it. Does patriarchy affect men too or not? Anyone is willing to answer, then answer it. Kindly, wisely. Don't try to go anywhere. Hello. Hello to all. I have to take one by one now. Okay, Indra, go on.
You mean affecting? Affecting in what sense?
Yep.
Yes, men are also um, affect getting affected because of this patriarchal system because they have to be they have the they are expected to have um, the the societal pressure of being courageous, to be assertive, to be physically very strong, or they have the pressure to be the providers of their family. They have to be more intellectual as compared to a woman. And that is, these are the expectations from the society, from the men, and they feel sometimes they don't feel good because if they are not able to achieve this as compared to women, because now most of the jobs are modern and it is not more physical, and women are equally able to do those things. And yes, they have to be the providers of the family and themselves. They have to, they like, women can show all of her emotions, but if a man does it, he may be considered weak. And so yes, they are also getting impacted, affected.
Yeah, exactly. Like patriarchy does not only create pressure like for a woman, it creates pressure for men as well, as Indra was explaining. That was really nice. And yeah, even you explained the all point, but still I want to listen from the others because there is so many people who is curious about. Hello, Crimson. I think let me take one by one name like Lucky, Arjun, KK, Priyadarsh, Yona, Toby, Junaid, Indra, Soldier, sorry, Crimson. Indra has shown. I want to listen from others. Does patriarchy affect men too? So how? Then we will last talk about like how we should think about it some way forward. Okay? Okay. I think I should mention it. As Indra mentioned, like patriarchy does not only create pressure for women, it creates pressure for men also. Like many boys grow up hearing like "Don't cry, be strong," as we listen on adventure, sorry, and ads like that. Like never show weakness, and you must always earn more money than girls, right? And you must always be successful. So these expectations can become heavy burdens. So what happened? I spoke. Yeah, Indra spoke. I'm just elaborating this all point, whatever you were saying. Okay.
It's not the glitch. I think it is the issue from Vincent's side, maybe. I can hear you.
Yeah, we are
Yeah.
here, but unfortunately, we are continuously getting glitch. Every time we are getting glitch. Adil is here also, so there is a strong glitch in this video chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So basically, I'm just saying like these expectation can become heavy burdens for the man too. Like some men struggle to express emotions, and some feel trapped by constant pressure to perform. So the goal is not replace one domination with another. The goal is to create healthier society for everyone. And a society like where both like a man and woman can fully develop their talents and humanity, that is called humanity society where we developed as a healthier. Okay, I hope it's clear now. Means patriarchy system create like burden for all, not for the only woman. Okay, now you have to like conclusion. You if you have any conclusion, then you can start. Otherwise, I can conclude and I will talk about some way forward, like how should we maintain this society, because we are the creator now. We are younger. So instead of thinking about like who did it, we should think about it. How will we shape it about it? So how
I
we
think,
can shape the society? Huh?
yeah, I think it is better to understand the difference between equality and equity. It is not about discuss equality all the time. It is better to focus on the equity. So, like women have its own rules, like men have its own rules. So, focus on those. It's not about men are to be like superior or women. It is not about that. It is about the it's about the distribution of labor. It is about the different lifestyle. It's about the biological determinant, like the Dr. Adil mentioned also. It's about the different rules of men and women in society. And if we believe on such things like I have to these things, I have to go to outside, and I have to earn money for my family. It is about my role, and I have to play this role in a good society. Same way, woman has to play its own role. She is not meant like I will do this thing like what men are meant to be. So if we understand this thing, this equity, the role of equity in a society, this patriarchy, matriarchy, these concepts should eliminate in our society. And I think it is we who are creating these issues. Like there's a matriarchy in a society, there's a patriarchy. Maybe there are cases everywhere. Women are to be, men are to be dominated. They are believed to be dominated in some ways. Like in current system, we are watching everywhere. Like women are getting spaces in political system also. They are getting spaces in education system. Everywhere women are getting spaces. So we are building a society where equity is to be maintained. So we should understand there is a concept of equality, not about equality. Equality is nothing, because we are being biologically, we are being created biologically different. So different, we have to shape roles as per our structure, as per our functions, or as per our originality. So I think it is better to understand the concept of equity. And if any other person is uh, going to join us,
Just
he can share.
Junaid, in conclusion, I second your point uh, that yes, equality is the problem, equity is the solution. Equity is like fairness, adjusted outcomes. And then when we talk about the liberation of the women, the freedom of the women, if they consider this thing that we have to be at par with men, that means they make men as the reference point, as the standard, that they are more imprisoned that way. So men does should not be the standard, that men should be Oh,
Uh,
can you hear me now?
Jack,
Am I audible?
yeah. Mhm.
So if man is the reference point, the standard, that means the freedom that they are talking about, it gets curbed. It is not freedom and liberation in true sense. They need to understand their responsibilities, and men need to understand their responsibilities. Uh, they can be like I said, they are equal in so many things, in dignity, in respect, in deference, in moral truths. But their cognitive faculties, they are different. Psychologically they are different. Evolutionary, from that point of view, they are different. Their biology is different. So we need to understand that diversity, we need to understand those differences, and accordingly adjust ourselves, and shoulder those responsibilities based on that. So otherwise, if we get into that race of equal opportunities, equal rights, it will have its consequences. Because at times, like, women are far superior, like I said, than men. Men can never reach up to their level. Say, for example, motherhood, patience, endurance, and emotional regulation that they have. Where men cannot even level them up. But in certain cases, men have different jobs to be done where women cannot level up. So both of them need to understand their responsibilities well, and that's how society is. Like, their responsibilities are socially differentiated, and once we understand this, things will get really easier. Once we understand the concept of equity rather than equality. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, true progress is not about men versus women. It is about like creating system where talent matters more than gender, where leadership depends on ability rather than stereotypes, right? Okay, so I think we should wind up the session. And thank you so much for joining this today's session.
Thank
Anyone
you.
want to? Okay.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for inviting us. It was a nice moment with all of you. So we get a lot of things. Thanks once again, especially Dr. Adil Sen. He joined us too. So
Thanks a lot, sir. It
God
was my
bless you, sir.
pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all. Thank
God
you.
bless you,
Yeah, okay.
everybody. Thank you.
God bless you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so deeply. Like you have poured your busy day and you gave your time here. Thank you so much to all, especially Adil, Junaid, and whoever is speaking here. Thank you so much. And even it was your first time, and everyone was amazing. Thank you. Okay, so I think we should wind up. Shall I?
Yeah, go ahead.
So please.
Okay. Good night to all.